Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Pageant Sit Down. My name is Regina Lena, and I am so excited to have you all here with me today. I have a very special guest all the way from the UK. She is none other than Ms. Galaxy UK 2020-21, Danielle Latimer. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Regine. How are you?
I'm great. It's what, 11:30 in the evening over there?
It's totally fine. I am an insomniac, so I'm used to being up this hour.
Well, thank you so much for spending your late evening with me. For those who don't know you, which I'd be surprised if they didn't, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Of course. So, my name's Danielle Latimer. I am the reigning Ms. Galaxy UK Pageant Sisters with Regine here. And I'm a bit of a pageant veteran. I've been around for a little while, roughly 12 to 13 years. I think this is around the same time as you as well, Regine. We've been, we've been here for a little while. And I love pageantry. I'd say number one, I am a pageant fan over being a pageant contestant. And I have my own little business called The Pageant Stylist, which I set up back in August when the pandemic hit. Unfortunately, I lost my job and I had to think outside the box. And I used to be a stylist, a professional stylist, a few years ago. And so I decided to, dust those skills off and set up my own little business. And I also studied to become a photographer during that time as well. And I invested in a photography kit. So that's kind of what I'm doing myself these days.
Wow. So you style, you photograph, you're the whole package when it comes to what a pageant girl needs to be. You could take your own pictures, edit them, style yourself. Yeah. I love it.
We have to be superwomen, right?
Mm-hmm. Especially during this pandemic, I know a lot of people lost their jobs, myself included, and you just need to be creative, which I think is a blessing in disguise. But the pageant, you were crowned exactly a year and a day or two ago. How was, the world was starting to shut down, but the UK still had to have their pageant. How was that for you guys?
Well, we were extremely lucky that our pageant got to go ahead. It was right on the cusp where the numbers were starting to creep in here in the UK. And, it was a little bit too soon to figure out what the plan of action was. So first of all, I'm just so grateful that I had the opportunity to compete, and of course to win was just the cherry on the cake. So just to have that opportunity during was really unsettling whether it's going to go ahead or not. And I know Holly, my national director, was having kittens over whether this was going to go ahead or not. So we were very lucky, and obviously after the pageant was held, everything came to an abrupt stop here in the UK, and then we went into our lockdown. So it's unprecedented times, but I'm just so fortunate the pageant got to go ahead.
Mm-hmm. That's so crazy because I remember Maria was in the UK and then I was like, is she staying? Is she going home? What's the plan? And I'm just glad that you were able to have that pageant moment. You had your win and then lockdown, but you've been doing so much during this pandemic with your appearances, and I know that you also are a co-host on the Pageant Project, which is another pageant podcast. How was that for you?
So I really had to adapt. This has never been done before. We've never been beauty queens in a pandemic before, so really having to think outside the box. And I'm so lucky that I had the Pageant Project prior to winning this competition as well. So having that as a weekly podcast is definitely something that kept me motivated. Being a pageant podcaster, you get to meet loads of different pageant girls from all corners of the world, and they inspire me so much. So they kind of having that weekly dose of pageantry, I never lost it. I never lost my momentum, and I totally put that down to, being a co-host on the Pageant Project, Pageant and PJs podcast. It's such a mouthful, isn't it? All the P's. So I was very lucky to be a part of that and to stay, within pageant world. Mm-hmm. So just trying to adapt, which is a bit of a struggle these days.
100%. I know a few of us Canadian queens, we've been wanting to be on that podcast.
No way.
Like
get on.
We've been trying. Talk to
What?
Adrian. Get us on.
Has Adrian been ignoring your messages? Because I'll have words with him like,
No
no,
comment.
no. This has got to change. We're having all of the Canadian Galaxy girls on.
There's 7 of us. We've all been wanting to get on, but I'm just so grateful. We've been able to have you on. You actually had Angel on today as a guest.
Yes, we did. We did. And it was amazing to meet her. She's just so beautiful, intelligent, and eloquent. And the ideas that she's having at the moment is so out of the box, creative. She's holding a webinar soon, which I hope everyone attends. I think it's the 22nd of April. My short-term memory isn't brilliant. We've just come off the podcast with her. I think it's 22nd of April. And this is a webinar to help people that have lost their jobs during this pandemic. Like I said, I was one of them. You was one of them. It's a webinar teach you how to kind of help you write your CV, write and cover letters, which is amazing and so timely right now, and just shows that the beauty queen ethic and ability to adapt is just off the charts right now. And it was just lovely to meet her.
She's awesome. We've had her here on the show. She's actually my pageant coach, so it's so great to see that she's been able to be on your show as well. But I do want to make a comment because I do love your outfit. It looks super cozy, first of all, but it also looks very Filipina-esque.
This is what I was going for because I know your Filipina heritage. So I wanted to go for kind of a little bit of a traditional style, and I love it. Oh my God. There was a girl that competed in Bini Bini this year, and she, Eliza, begins with an A, and she wore this beautiful, simple white, fresh, clean dress, and it had the traditional shoulder, and she was just the epitome of elegance. And ever since then, I just obsessed with this style. I love it.
I love it. I should get some of my family in the Philippines to send you some.
If I can have like a real traditional one, that would be amazing.
I have so many just because I do a lot of the Filipino events here in Toronto. So maybe I'll bring you one when we finally meet in Chicago.
I know. Oh, don't. Just if I can come to your room and try one on.
I'll bring one just for you to try on then, if that helps.
I'd love that. I would love that.
Awesome.
I wish I could bring you some kind of traditional English wear, but trust me, you do not want to dress up like a Morris dancer.
Why not? I mean, we could switch for a day.
I mean, I could bring over like a kilt, from Scotland. That could. I know it's men wear it, but I think the plaid is really cute.
I think you could dress it up to be more feminine too. So
absolutely.
I mean, you're the pageant stylist, so I trust you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I try. I spend a lot of my time just scrolling, looking at fashion. It's definitely my escapism. I just find fashion so interesting and thought-provoking. Especially ones that make a real pass a message on like a political standpoint. Today, I was looking through a Facebook group that I'm in, which is full of stylists and image consultants, and there was this very androgynous look where they turned blazers into dresses and dressed men in them, and they'd also turned their shoes, which took a traditional masculine shoe, and added a heel to it. And I thought this was incredible, but there was a lot of people commenting on negative things below, like, no, don't do this, stop blurring the lines. And I just thought, you know what, fashion is art, and a good piece of art should evoke conversation, and that's exactly what this piece of fashion was doing. And so I was just like, I love it, because if it gets people talking, then that's true art.
Exactly. And speaking of fashion, you blew up on TikTok over fashion.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, well, that was completely an accident. I had no idea that it would blow up like that. So a little backstory. I found this gown of my dreams a couple of years ago. I was going to purchase it, and then it didn't go ahead because someone snapped it up for me and paid for me, which is unfortunate, but these things happen. It comes back onto the market, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got like a second chance to get this dress. So I messaged the seller, and we're going backwards and forwards a lot because I was really like, I'm a serious buyer. and she sends me the measurements, but she sends me the measurements of her. And now, girl, you know, no shade to her, but my booty was nowhere near the size of her booty. So I was like, this dress is not going to fit me. But she sent me her measurements. She didn't actually send me the dress measurements. So I kind of was like, no, my tushy is not going to fit in this. So I don't want to spend this amount of money on something that's going to be imported over, and it's just not going to work. And there wasn't a lot of time left before my pageant as well. So I just decided to pass on it. Anyway, this dress has come back on the market for a third time. And I'm thinking, you know, it wasn't going to fit me. It wasn't going to fit me. But then I read the description, and it gave the full measurements of the dress, and it was going to fit me. Alas, she gave the actual measurements of the kind of the hip area, and it was perfect to mine. In fact, all of the measurements were my perfect measurements. Gosh. So it felt like it was meant to be. So I messaged the seller, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this dress is back on the market. I've almost bought this twice, and now it's here. It's just the dress of my dreams, and I really, really want it. So I've probably overshared to this seller, and I said, you know, like, you can tell that my passion is I want this dress. Can I send you a deposit? You know, but the only thing is I am in the UK, so you know, do you know roughly how much it costs to ship to the UK? She goes, I would have to check. I was like, okay, well, that's totally fine. I was like, I can send you a holding deposit. And she goes, no, that won't be necessary. We don't need a holding deposit. I was like, okay. I was like, well, would you like me to send you the full amount? Like, I'm so keen to buy this dress. Would you like the full amount? And then we can talk about, you know, the payment of the shipping later. Mm-hmm. She goes, no, I'll just find out shipping and I'll let you know, in the morning. Okay. I'm super excited. I'm absolutely buzzing. I'm stoked. I'm going to get the dress of my dreams. And then the morning comes, her time, because obviously it's American, Eastern Standard Time, and I don't hear anything. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be that person that goes, hey, have you checked yet? You know, and leave it to late in the evening, probably this time, maybe a little bit later. And by then, morning's definitely past. It was well into the evening in the States. And she's like, hey, have you managed to like check how much the postage is going to be? And then she read my message and then updated the listing as sold. So as you can imagine, my heart sunk. I felt sick. I had, you have all these images in your head of you on stage, competing, performing in it. And I was having all this moment, and all of a sudden that was taken away from me. And I was just like, oh, I mean, I shouldn't have got my hopes up. But I messaged her being like, hey, have you sold this to someone else? She read my message. You didn't get back to me.
She ghosted you.
She ghosted me. Oh my! But this was worse. This felt like a breakup instead of like trying to get a date out of someone.
Oh my god!
This was like a heartbreak in a moment. And I'm digressing. This is a long backstory, guys. So I hope you've all got your tea. She's ignored that. On Facebook Marketplace, you can send like a counter offer. So I sent over a cheeky counter offer, just be like, I'm very like serious about this and I'm willing to pay more money. So if you've got like the amount agreed, paid, I'm willing to pay more. So I sent the counter offer, rejected, declined, not having it. And obviously she'd seen that my counter offer and she'd gone to decline it. I sent her another message being, you don't understand. I need this dress. I love it so much. Like whatever that person's paid, I will pay more. She read it, ignored it. I left it a little while before I started seeming like a crazy person. And I just sent her a message being like, I'm really disappointed. I'm just really sad and upset that you didn't feel that you could tell me that you'd sold it to someone else. I just want to let you know that I'm just a bit sad. I went to TikTok. And I'd already had my hair and makeup done because it was straight after my podcast. So I thought, let's jump onto TikTok. And I filmed a video saying how I was let down by a seller and basically a cry for help to see if anyone would be willing to help me create a gown. And obviously I am a pageant stylist, so I am very fussy and I'm constantly looking for things on the market and looking for new designers. So this was a kind of call out to the entire world. Is there an up-and-coming designer that would be willing to work with me to create my dream winning gown? So yeah, I've had quite a few designers get back to me. I had the sweetest girls back to me, be like, you can have my prom dress, and sending me pictures. Like, people were tagging designers, like really well-known designers. Yeah, it's just been overwhelming, the amount of response I've had from that TikTok. And I'm happy to announce that I do have a Zoom meeting booked in on Thursday morning with a designer to talk about creating a gown. So, and then just before I came live on here, I had another designer reach out to me who has 1 million followers. I can't get over it. Has 1 million followers. Like, her work is phenomenal. She's so talented, and she's reached out to me saying like she wants to work with me. So
wow,
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
The power of TikTok.
That's the story.
That's amazing. Now I'm really intrigued to what you're going to wear for evening gown, and I guess I have to up my game now too. Thank you.
No, like I always say, like for me, obviously fashion is my passion, and I love designing gowns, but I can't reiterate enough, and this is what I always say to my clients as well, it's not about the gown. None of it is about the gown. It's about the girl in the gown. So yeah, I can't reiterate that enough. So
well, Elizabeth Marnock says I can't wait to see the dress. So
I can't wait to.
I think now we're all in suspense, like what is Danny gonna wear?
Well, there's a lot of pressure in that as well. I mean, if there wasn't pressure enough being the pageant stylist, there's definitely added pressure now with this all kind of happening. So yeah, I can't let you guys down.
No worries. I think we all have to put out TikTok videos being like, help us.
Help. Yeah, literally. And I put up a post earlier today being like, when I was filming that, it came from a place of like, not anger, just disappointment and sadness, feeling let down, and not knowing where to go, basically. And I think there comes times in everyone's lives, regardless if you're a pageant girl looking for a dress, that's so minute, that's so small, that's like first world problems on the Richter scale. But the general that I want to put out is, if you have a situation where you need help, you know, whether it be, you know, your mental health is being affected, don't be afraid to reach out, because you can't go through this life alone. You have to get help. And you know, getting help and finding a gown was just a minute tiny thing, but that's the message that I want to share with everyone that's come from that TikTok. If you need help for something, just ask, you know, ask the universe for help, and it will come back to you. Well, and you never know what will happen. You never know what will happen.
100%. That's so true. Janice McGregor says, congrats on being the cover girl, Danny. So she's definitely talking about the Confessions of a Pageant Queen?
Yeah,
Beauty Queen?
Confessions of a Pageant Queen.
Yes, so she actually did ask on Instagram, what does it feel like to be the cover girl?
It's one of those things where it's a dream that I didn't know that I had. That just happened again. Like, I like to see the way that I see myself is I am immensely lucky, and that is definitely something that has happened. I think it's twofold. I definitely work hard and to achieve my dreams, and it's quite funny actually, because when Adrian told me he was creating a book, I was just like, I want to be on the front cover, not being like I deserve to be, like I want to be, like I booked a photo shoot because he was going to do he did a competition, like opening up like a competition to submit, and when he told me it was going to be a competition, I was just like, you know, the competitive part of me just tapped in. I was like, right, no, this is going to happen. Like, I booked myself a photo shoot specifically to nail the shot, and I got pictures from that photo shoot, and he goes, no, I think I've picked the photo now, and he just sent me an old photo that I had.
Oh.
And I have the book here on hand, and this photo is like a year and 3-4 months old now.
Well, it's stunning.
Thank you. So it's, you know, this photo was actually taken before winning my title. This was kind of my headshot for Galaxy UK.
Love that.
Yeah, and he said the reason why he picked it was because of like I look like I'm thinking something scandalous, and this is supposed to like entice people into buying the book. But really, like, from a scandalous looking Confessions of a Beauty Queen, there's nothing scandalous in here at all. It's all full of such inspirational women, and I've just loved reading all of their stories in there. So
It's so
an honor.
thick.
It is. I mean, it could do some serious damage. I mean, you don't want to annoy someone that has this in their hand at the time. And I actually was fortunate enough to write the foreword inside. And when Adrian told me how many entries that he had was, again, overwhelming, then he had to make 2 books. So we had the beautiful Lindsay Coffey, the current Miss Earth, on the copy, and of course it's like an A to Z. I don't know if this is on there. Everything's flipped.
Yes.
I'm on A to K. My name beginning with D. He put me on the first book, and then in the foreword I actually say, if I can find it. I mean, it is a chunky book, guys.
It's like an encyclopedia of beauty queens.
It really is. Oh no, I'm actually on my page. Ooh. This is terrible. Good thing we're not live. Hey, sorry to have everyone waiting.
Well, while you look for it, Cindy with an S is in the chat. She says, "Hi, ladies."
Hi, Cindy with an S.
She's still looking, guys.
Basically, I'm going to stop looking. I know what it says. Basically, it says, if anyone comes to you with negative energy about pageantry, because we all get it, you have the perfect book to throw at them and be like, here, read that. Now tell me.
Oh my God, I love that.
Now tell me why you've got a problem with pageant girls.
I love that. Well, we're actually almost at the halfway point, Danielle. So I do want to ask you, what are your 5 tips for any beauty queen or beauty hopeful?
Okay, so first one, research. Do your research before you enter a certain pageant, because there's a few bogus ones out there and some that don't have a great reputation. So definitely research. Make sure it's a reputable director. And obviously I would not be involved in Galaxy unless I didn't love all the people that are involved, including Cindy with an S. So research. 2, preparation. Really, strive to deliver your best. So whether that means getting coaching, or you don't have to get coaching. Like, I didn't get coaching for years and years, but do have a look on YouTube, at least watch how a pageant's run. So do research on the preparation. So research, preparation, put yourself out there as much as possible, make friends. 4, have fun. You have to, what's the point in doing anything unless you're going to have fun? And 5, have a plan for after you compete. So whether a plan in place if you was to win the crown, and have a plan for what you're going to do if you were not to win the crown.
Those are great tips, first off, but the last one, it's not something you hear often. So those are 5 amazing tips from Ms. Galaxy UK 2020-21. So if people wanted to follow your journey, and maybe if they had more questions to reach out to you, where can they find you?
So you can find me over on Instagram. So it's Ms. Galaxy UK. I also have a private account, not a private account, it's an open account, but I don't really use it so much for pageant stuff. So it's, if you're interested in my life, although I don't really post much on there these days because Galaxy consumes my life, but it is at Miss Dani Latimer. My TikTok is the same, at Miss Dani Latimer, if you want to see that infamous TikTok now. And obviously I'm on Facebook as well, so Danielle Latimer in full, but most people know me as Dani Latimer. And then of course my pageant stylist pages, so it's at the pageant stylist on Instagram, and it's on, we've got a Facebook page as well.
Awesome. And so I put all the links in the description below. So after the show, make sure you follow her. I also included your YouTube video because you started a YouTube video or YouTube channel, sorry, during the pandemic as well. So I made sure to put it there. Make sure you
Oh,
subscribe, follow
thank
her
you.
journey. No problem. So I did want to ask, actually, I have a question from Instagram. Let me ask that one first. And the question is, what was the biggest lesson you learned while competing for your title?
Ooh. The biggest lesson that I learned was hard work pays off. Hard graft. I'd entered, through quite a few competitions. I mean, I think this is, I'm definitely in double figures. How many competitions that I ever in more than double figures, like not triple figures, but it's up there. But this was the title that I worked the hardest. Like, I know straight up right that I worked harder for this than I did when I competed in Universe, when I competed in Miss Universe Great Britain. I worked harder in this than I did for Miss England that goes on to Miss World. If you really apply yourself and do everything within your power, regardless if you take the crown or you don't, you will be so proud of yourself and what you have achieved, and have a body of work to look back on. That hard work pays off is the biggest lesson that I have learned.
Awesome. So, when you compete in pageants, you tend to, I guess, search some of the girls in your division. And I'm not going to lie, I've done that with you. I was like,
of course.
Who's this new Ms. UK girl? Let's search her. And I don't know what I found was some reality TV clipping that you were in.
Oh yes, we all.
What was that? So you've done reality TV?
I have. I did a dating show back when I was like 25, which was so much fun. Oh my goodness. So it's called Take Me Out. And what it is, it's a dating show where you have a flirty 30, so you have 30 women, and we have a very nice gentleman that comes down a tube, like an elevator almost. I don't know. He comes through, and we have the option to have our light on or off for this person. So I got a date at the end of it, and I actually dated my date for quite a few months afterwards. It did fizzle out, unfortunately. It was a little bit of a showmance, let's say. And then I actually I dated a guy from the same series, but I'd already left the show by the time he came on. So there is 10 episodes, and I got my date on the 7th, and then my date was shown on the 8th, and he came down on the 9th show. And I was in a long-term relationship with him. Which again I wasn't so lucky in love back then. I had much better luck in my love life. Lucky everywhere else in my life, but not in my love life. But it's got better recently, thank goodness. So blessed. But it was an amazing experience. I felt like I was on a bachelorette party at the time.
Yeah, that's the way that so were your lights on or off for your date?
So you have to light on if you like the person in front of you, and then if he has quite a few lights on, he has to whittle it down between two ladies, and then he has like a question, and I'm quite a whippersnapper when it comes to the question. I'm like, Adrian always makes jokes that I'm the ultimate like dad joke person. I love a pun. Like any joke that gets crickets, that's me at the party. So I was ready.
Oh my God,
I was ready for my question. I was gonna knock it out of the park. I was helping other girls backstage with their questions, and trust my luck, it wasn't a question. It was like, who could do the best headbang? So I had to do a headbang off. Bear in mind, I had clip-in extensions. I was scared that my weave was going to fly across the audience.
Wait, what's a headbang? Like an actual
an actual head? I can't do it on at the moment, but like I gave it stacks. I wanted this date. I wanted this date. He seemed like a good guy, and I was not letting him go. So I headbanged for my life. It was like when you watch what's the program, Drag Race. Instead of lip syncing for my life, I headbanged for my life, and I just I'm lucky that
Love
my
that.
clip-in extensions didn't fly across to the audience that was there, and there was an audience of about
Oh wow.
500 people, I want to say, so audience.
Oh my God.
And then it's primetime TV here in the UK, and it has been streamed all over the world. I still get ads from New Zealand where they're replaying my series, and it's also the most replayed series of that entire show, and I think there's 12 series.
Amazing.
So it's the most replayed, and every now and then I'll get an influx of followers and I'll know that they've replayed my series.
I think you need to reach out to that extension company and be like, hey, your clip-in extensions lasted. Here's proof.
I know.
You should
I
sponsor
think I did
me.
actually try that.
Oh, did you?
Well, I knew I was going on the show, so you're not supposed to say anything, but you can kind of work with sponsors. So I did a little I'm going on a primetime TV show. Would you be interested in sponsoring me? And it was like, no. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy them.
But I think you should still show them afterwards. Be like, this is what you missed out on.
But I was very blonde back then, so I needed those extensions because my hair was just fried from the bleach. So
oh no.
Yeah, I looked like a Barbie on that show. It was ridiculous. They had me so kind of what's the word? Cliche. It was very cliche. I was the blonde beauty queen that had the big hair. And they liked to put me in pink quite a bit as well.
So you were the Barbie blonde pageant queen.
That's so far from the truth. I actually dyed my hair back brunette. This is my natural colour. I dyed my hair back brunette, and it was still funny because I used to work in events, and I was talking, and someone tapped me on the shoulder. I was like, "Are you Danny?" And I just dyed my hair back dark. And I was like, "Oh yeah, like did you recognise me with like brunette hair?" He was like, No. I recognised your voice before. I didn't see your face. I just recognised your voice. I was like, "Oh my." That's crazy that you recognise me from my voice. So I can't get away from it.
Wow, that's crazy. Would you ever do reality TV again?
I would definitely want to do another dating show. I did actually get asked to do Love Island here in the UK, which is a very big show. This is a crazy huge show. I actually turned it down just because I didn't want to come across as a desperate singleton, basically, because I've done one dating show. And also the mental health aspect of it. This show really catapults you into stardom, and you go from like zero to hero in overnight. And I don't think that I would deal with that very well to that extreme where So it's something that I need to consider. I'd rather just not have the headache, and I'd rather make a name for myself in a more inspirational light than just doing a dating show. But I'm not ruling it out. I have done a documentary. I've got a sister that has a disability. She's got Down syndrome, and I filmed a documentary on it was called Find a Home for My Brother, and basically talking about, as a young carer, because my sister's 8 years older than me, what we're going to do when the time comes when my parents are no longer around. What am I going to do? So I did film a documentary on that, but I'm not opposed to I like reality TV, but it would have to be a classy show.
Would you do? Is there a Big Brother UK?
Yeah, it got cancelled here, so
No, I was gonna say, would you do that?
Oh my goodness,
that's kind of That's classy, right?
I like the idea. I think that I go in there and I'll be good, but I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like going outside, socializing. I'd probably be scaling the walls to get out because I don't want to have I know, and they like to put big characters in there as well, and I'm quite a big character as well, but I kind of make myself smaller around bigger characters. So I'm not sure I'll be the best version of myself in Big Brother, but if someone offered it to me now, I'd probably consider it. Deeply consider it. But we have a show here called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here, and that's more of a kind of survival. They drop you out in the middle of the Australian jungle, and you have to do all these crazy challenges, and that's a bit of me. I consider myself a female Bear Grylls. Put me in a survival situation, I will flourish. So if fingers crossed, if I was to ever do any reality TV show, it would be I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out Here. But I need to be a celebrity first.
You are, I was just gonna say, you are a celebrity. You are Miss Galaxy UK and maybe one day Miss Galaxy. So
who knows? Crazy world we live in right now. So anything's possible.
And you also just put it out there. You literally just put it out into the galaxy that you want to be on that show. So maybe one of the producers will come across this video and be like, we need to get her on.
Let's talk. Slide into the DMs.
There you go. Her Instagram information is down below. Oh my goodness.
Would you do a reality TV show?
You know what? I don't know. Like, I've seen, like, Cindy, she's done Big Brother Canada, and I do watch a lot of reality TV. Like, I am huge on watching The Challenge, things like that. MTV is always on in this household. Maybe, I don't know if I'm, like, physically fit for it, but I feel like I'd be a fun personality to be on the show. I'd be like the pot stirrer.
The what?
Like the person that stirs the pot and starts drama. And
yeah, the wooden spoon, we call that.
Yes.
Stirring the pot.
That would be me, just cause. I don't know why. I feel like that would be my personality. Like, my Filipino-ness would come out and be like, oh, did you hear about that person? I'm not like that in person, but I feel like that would be my persona.
I love that. I don't know what my persona would be. Probably the mentalist coming up with strange weird, you know, when they do like the montage at the end, and it's like the weirdest moments. I would have the weirdest things that people would definitely be questioning my being. I reckon I'd be coming out of weird games for sure to keep myself entertained.
I mean, you'd keep everyone watching, so that's perfect.
Oh god, I don't know about that. I'd have to watch myself more than anything. Like I said, Big Brother, I definitely would scale the walls and try and get out.
Oh my goodness, imagine. They'd be like, how did she survive this pandemic?
Yeah.
So going back into pageants,
I did want to
so going back to pageants, I did want to ask, you know, you've been doing pageants for quite a long time. What got you into pageantry to begin with?
Well, Miss World and Miss Universe used to be on TV in my household a fair bit. It just used to kind of be on the background. Miss World in the UK was the biggest, you know, show in the world. So from a young age, I used to watch it. And, you know, growing up, you have different idols in life. Boys have like their superheroes when they're young. And I remember watching this, and I was, I don't know if I was like 5, and I thought, these women are superheroes. Like they're just like, they're intelligent, they're beautiful, they're physically fit, they look strong, and they are they're superheroes to me. And so that kind of was always in my subconscious. And then as I grow up, you know, obviously life gets in the way and you're not always thinking about pageants. Like, I just didn't think they existed here anymore. And I was at university at the time. Actually, before I went to university, I used to look on the Miss England website like every month, I swear, and encouraged to enter. I didn't have professional pictures. I never had an experience modelling. So I just thought I was never good enough. And it wasn't until I was on a night out, as you do at university, and someone handed me a flyer and said, hey, you should enter Miss Bedfordshire. And then I was like, just that one person, but looking at me, watching me on my night out with my girlfriends and handing me that leaflet and believing in me, I emailed that night, probably shouldn't have, and I said, I've seen Miss Congeniality, I want world peace. And they must have thought, like, what on earth is this person? Obviously I'd never experienced a pageant or never met a pageant girl. I started writing this, like, it might seem like quite condescending email, but I was just kind of a bit merry at the time. And I got an email back being like, we like your enthusiasm, you know, we're going to invite you down to an interview. Wow. And I met 2 girls in particular. One girl had quite severe autism, and obviously my sister's disabled, so that I really gravitated towards her. And I met another girl that raised thousands for charity, and then I had a whole new respect for pageantry, and then I was hooked.
So you went from thinking of Miss Congeniality to realizing that there's so much more.
Oh my goodness. But I knew there was. I was just being very defensive because I thought that I wouldn't do well. I just thought that I'm not a pageant girl. I'm not the type to do a pageant. Like, why would they want me? Like, and then that pageant was my first ever pageant, and I came first runner up.
Amazing. And you're like, oh wait, really?
I was backstage packing my stuff up, and I'd already taken my heels off, and I'd made top 10, but I was like, I'm like the sympathy vote, like I'm maybe like the funny girl that like they're not going to take me seriously. And when they called my name, they were like, quick, get your shoes on, get your shoes on, get your shoes on, you need to get on stage. And I was like, what do? Do I curtsy? Do I get a sash and a crown? And I got a sash and a crown, and I was just like, oh, what is this? And yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So how many pageants would you say you've competed in? Because you said you're in the double digits. Do you have a firm number or a guesstimate?
I definitely know that it's 18 plus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So at Miss England, I used to compete in. That's my first pageant that I competed in. They had regional heats, and I qualified for a lot of regional heats. So basically, I would, not win, move on to the next one, not win, move on to the next one, not win, move on to the next one, until I eventually won a heat.
Awesome.
I was doing like a pageant like every month to try and qualify to get to the Miss England final.
Wow.
So yeah, so that tallied them up a little bit.
That's amazing. So I'm guessing out of all of your competitions, which one is your favorite?
Oh,
I have a feeling.
So I'm going to put Galaxy aside for this one, because Galaxy was obviously nothing compares to winning Galaxy. I've watched Galaxy ever since it started here in the UK over 12 years ago now. I attended 5 years before I even applied. So that was like the ultimate goal for me. But before that, Miss Grand International was definitely an experience, just because I get to go to Thailand for 3 weeks and experience a new culture. And I'd done an international prior to that. I did Miss Globe, but this was like a whole different level. I now had a pageant sister in every corner of the globe, and that experience was just phenomenal. So, and I can't wait to have another international experience and have pageant sisters all over the world again.
It's exciting. Well, Grand International is currently happening. So are you following?
I am, bits and pieces. They've just all been, gradually being let loose out of their quarantine period at the moment. And I'm slightly in love with I was about to say Miss Galaxy. I'm slightly in love with terrible. Who's Galaxy on the brain? I'm in love with Grand Thailand. I think her personality is just off the chart. She's hilarious. I love the fact that she is biracial. I love everything she stands for. Miss Grand Thailand in the past have been quite controversial, and I think she's found her own and stuck to her guns, and I really admire her at the moment. So I've been watching her a lot, and of course, just trying to follow it and enjoy it and have a nice piece of pageantry to watch. It's nice to have pageants going again.
Yes, I'm unbiased. I'm following Miss Philippines all the way, and of course Canada.
She's beautiful.
Samantha is stunning.
Philippines, like you guys, just like a different next level beauty. I've been to the Philippines, fortunate enough to go to the Philippines, and it's just the most beautiful people from the soul. Like, I love the fact that I went to the supermarket with my Miss Grand Philippines, Parusha, and we went to a supermarket, and she was like, "Oh, thank you, Ate," and I was like, "What does that mean?" And I was like, she's like, "It means auntie." I was like, "Is that your auntie?" She was like, No. This is just like how we,
the sign of respect.
This is how we, say thanks." And I was just like, everyone's family here, and that's just so beautiful to me. It's such a different way of looking at things. We definitely do not take that approach here in the UK, so that's definitely something that I've took away with me from the Philippines.
Awesome. Parulsha is stunning.
Oh,
she's
a goddess.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
And she's wickedly smart and hilarious, so down to earth. When I said I was coming to the Philippines to watch Miss Universe, she was like, "Oh, you're staying with me. You are staying with me." So I was like, okay. So yeah, for my duration. And she was giving me so much advice because I wanted to travel around some of the islands. So she was like, girl, you need to go here, you know, to get here. She was just the best hostess. And I got to meet MJ Lastimosa as well.
Okay, now I'm like low-key jealous, but
and Bea as well.
Mhm.
Kylie Vervosa. Is it Vervosa? Yes.
So you've literally met the entire batch that year.
I
basically
met royalty. And the standard of training that's out there in the Philippines is just next level. Did
you get trained or did you watch?
I didn't get trained, but I got an education, that's for sure. So you know, parole was just like, girl, you need to do it like this, you need to do this. So I met some of the trainers. I actually was fortunate enough to go to a 50th birthday party of the head of not Aces and Queens, the other camp. Oh god,
Pageant Flores.
Yes, I got to go to the 50th birthday. Yes, Roger. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I was so honoured to have been invited to that. And literally, it was pageant royalty under one roof, and it was such a great party.
I've met him when I competed in the Philippines, so I've seen pictures from his birthday. I was like, holy cow! I'm gonna go through it again and look for you.
Yeah, I was there. I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing.
Right place, right time type situation.
Well, I was telling people because everyone's like, oh, out of all the Galaxy girls, who are you most excited to meet? Obviously, I'm so excited to meet you. I feel like you and I do have a lot of similarities when it comes to our views on life and our pageant journeys. So I'm so excited to hopefully meet you in Chicago. I just hope the world opens up soon because I'm tired of lockdown.
And I'm tired of it, and I don't want it to happen. I can't give everyone when I meet you, I want to touch you. That sounds weird. I want to give you
I get it.
You know, I want to embrace you. I want to feel that embrace again, and like just enjoy the moment as much as possible, and get to know all you girls. I feel like I've got to we've had a long time to get to know each other, and you know. But yeah, I can't wait to get to know everyone else on a deeper level and see their quirks, and because they're the things that you see in real life. You don't really see that on social media.
For sure.
So I'm excited for that.
Exactly. You only see the glamorous side of life on social media. You don't see how people actually are in person, how they stand, how they laugh, how they sneeze.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you
weird to sneeze as well, so.
Well, there you go. But I feel like when you hear someone sneeze nowadays, you're like, COVID, stay away from me.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
I'm hoping to get my vaccine soon, so that will make traveling a lot easier. Fingers crossed.
I feel like you guys are gonna get it way before us. Canada is slow.
Yeah, I think because our Prime Minister Boris Johnson had made so many kind of unfortunate decisions that I think there was pressure on him to get this over and done with. We've been in 3 lockdowns now, so we've had a little taster of freedom, and then it was been snatched away from us. So you know, there was no messing up at this point. So when the vaccine came available, I think he just kind of was like, right, that's it, we're going to vaccine up, and it has seemed successful. So fingers crossed I will have had my vaccine by May.
Well, hopefully they're saying that we're probably not going to all be vaccinated by the end of summer. If I'm wrong, somebody in the chat, please correct me. But right now they're doing it by ages. So they did like the 80 plus. I think we're still in the 80 plus. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
We are currently on the age is 46 to 49, which is a very strange age bracket. I thought we'd be more like 45, 49, but I won't argue with their plans, but it's edging closer to me now, which my boyfriend loves to remind me of because he's a little bit younger than me. So he's like, oh, you're next. Like,
oh my goodness. I'm on the same boat as you when it comes to that. I'm turning 30 this year, and so I'm like, oh my god, I'm in another age bracket. I'm not even like, when you check box in the boxes where they're like, are you from ages 29 to whatever? I'm like, I'm now going to be in a whole new category.
Trust me, the 30s at the moment are proving to be the best decade. I'm going to be 33 this year, and at the moment, in the past 3 years, I've had the most, I feel like more comfortable in my skin and less bothered about things. I don't know if that changes when you're 30, but I had like a little bit of a situation when I turned 30. I was like, oh god, like, the approaching 30 was so scary to me. So I just booked myself a flight to Thailand. And I was just like, right, I'm going traveling on my own, guys. You know, let me have a little peaceful transition. And it just so happened that Miss Grand International was happening in Myanmar, so I just, hopped on a flight over to Myanmar and supported our UK girls and Miss Grand International. So I tied that in with my 30th birthday present.
I wish I could do that, but I'm currently in lockdown. So
eventually, we'll get there.
I'll celebrate it in Chicago, even though it's way before. It's next month. So, but I'm just so bummed because it's my champagne birthday and it's my 30th birthday. So like, oh, come on, world, please open up again.
Well, just have the refrigerator stocked full of the champagne. You can still have the champagne birthday.
There you go.
And then, just means that you've got a little bit more time to save a few more pennies for an extra big holiday.
Yes, I'm excited. Okay, well, that's a good question actually for you because you've traveled all over the world, it seems. When the world opens up again, besides Chicago, where would you love to visit?
So number one on my bucket list is Costa Rica, purely because I'm a big nature nut, and the biodiversity in Costa Rica is just a paradise. I want to go out into the jungle. You've got the beach. I actually looked into doing some conservation work there because I'm a conservation volunteer, and there was a program where you can look after the turtles' nesting sites. Wow. And in the same course you can also track the big cats out in the jungle, because the positioning of this camp was on the beach and in the jungle. Paris. So Costa Rica would have to be my number one place I'd love to go to after the pandemic.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to go. Hopefully anyone can go anywhere. We can't even go to the States and we're so close to the border.
I mean, we can't even go see family these days. Like we can't, we're only leaving our house to go get groceries, and I do that once a week.
Yeah.
To get groceries for my family. So Costa Rica is a little way off.
You have to be a little bit more cautious too because of your sister as well, right? So.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate that everyone in my family has had the vaccine. I'm the only one in the family that hasn't had it yet.
They're like, come on, Danny, what are you waiting for?
But I'm pretty sure I haven't had COVID, not to my knowledge, but everyone around me has had it. So I'm pretty sure that I'm asymptomatic. Really? And I actually put a post up being like, everyone around me's getting COVID, like I don't know how I haven't had it yet. And then my friend is a nurse and or a midwife, and she commented below being like, you're not O negative blood type, are you? And I was like, yeah, I'm O negative blood type. She was like, yeah, there's been some studies at the moment saying that O negative blood types can feel less of the symptoms of coronavirus, so you may have already had it and not realized, which is even scarier because that's how this is being transmitted all around the world, because people have it and don't even realize they've got it.
That's crazy. Well, there was a school here in Toronto where they decided to do like a random testing on this, like a voluntary testing on the students, and there were so many asymptomatic students that they had to shut down.
Yeah.
So it's
a bit of a nightmare, really, isn't it? That's how it spread like wildfire all around this world, and I can't believe it's still here. We were joking back at Galaxy UK that this will be over and done with, and people were saying like, no, this could be around, historically looking at things like bird flu and Spanish influenza, these viruses were around for years. So I just hope
it's gone by August. August 3rd or August 1st, can you please be gone already so that we can all fly into Chicago?
Preferably before that as well, to let the dust settle a bit. So just
yes. So let's say tomorrow.
See yourself out, put yourself in the skip, in the bin, goodbye.
Thank you next, goodbye. Oh my goodness. Well, I just hope that things will start to open up again. I know the UK seems to be getting their vaccines going very quickly, so hopefully things will start to open up for us. And Chicago will happen, because like you, I do want to hug you as well and just be near everyone again. Like I feel like hugging seems so not cliche. It just seems so foreign. I'm
Yeah.
like, I just want to hug people. Is that okay?
I know. It was so funny because Adrian mentioned on our podcast tonight, when was the last time you shook a stranger's hand?
Oh God.
Over a
Like
year
over
ago.
a year.
That's mind-boggling.
But just to think that you were at a pageant a year ago, filled with all of these wonderful women from all over the UK, plus America and Australia, because Adrian was there. Just,
Yeah.
it's
And
so surreal.
the former Miss Galaxy International, Shakai, was there as well with her mum. So Shakai
Oh
actually
my goodness.
attended because she was in England at the time. So we went from being like high on life, especially with winning. I was, you know, on top of the world, to then all of a sudden getting the phone call on my car ride home to not come into work the next day. I wasn't fired then and there. I didn't lose my job. I actually was made like redundant. I don't know. Like they honoured my contract. So they were just like, don't come in. We're going to do like a rotation because we don't want everyone getting sick. And then when it came to my time to go in the office, they called me again and said, you know, don't bother. We're closing all the offices again. And by the time August came around, they were like, we can't keep you on anymore. So.
Oh, wow. That's so crazy. But you're right. You came from this high of you just won. Like, I know when I won, I was on this natural high for weeks. And I got to show the crown to everyone. I even brought it to work,
Look,
actually.
I saw you sent me a video and I loved that. Your boss trying on
Yes.
your crown.
Yeah, it's actually his birthday today. So, Nick, if you're watching, happy birthday.
Birthday.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine what it must have been for all of you to just not be able to show it off.
Yeah, so I haven't made any, you know, physical appearances, which is crazy because I'm definitely someone that puts myself out into the community a lot. Like before I won this crown, every weekend I was driving at least. Every weekend I was driving up to Manchester, let's say, which is like a 4-hour drive. So whether it be Manchester, Wiltshire, Liverpool, Blackpool, I was up and down the country like no man's business. I don't even want to think about how many thousands of pounds I spent on gas to go in my car. But I was literally everyone. People were making fun of the fact that, oh, Danielle's going to pop out of nowhere, and here I was, you know, just arriving out of my car. I practically lived in my car for the whole of 2019, making appearances up and down the country. And one of the trips, I'd say the longest all-round journey trip's probably like 9 or 10 hours round trip to an appearance I made. So yeah, so going from doing that every weekend to being in these 4 walls was quite a come down, really.
Well,
but we adapt,
I guess
we move.
But I guess you could say you did all of your physical appearances before the crown, and so now you're giving yourself a break.
I think my break's up now, guys. Come on, let me out.
A year later, I know. And I'm guessing from what I see, you're an extrovert just like me, so being at home must be terrible for you.
Yeah, I had a really dark time in August. Obviously, I lost my job. I had no financial security. I wasn't even receiving universal credit at the time. So I was just in a pit of despair, basically. I was a mess. I didn't wash my hair for like 3 weeks. It's just, I was disgusting, guys. But I started reading self-help books and watching inspirational videos, and that really dug me out of that hole that I went into. So yeah, just had to, you know, we all go there in life. We all have like times where, you know, you're not the best versions of ourselves, as long as you don't stay there. I didn't stay there. I turned it around. I created 2 businesses and started seeing the silver lining of the cloud of what happened. And I'm very fortunate now, because had this pandemic not happened, had I not lost my job and been in that pit of despair, I wouldn't have 2 incredible businesses at the moment and do wake up being so excited to do what I do. I would have never have done that had I still be working in an office job. So, you know, I can't show enough gratitude towards this sticky situation that happened.
Well, I'm glad that you are mentally out of that state, because it's scary, and it's dark. But I'm just so grateful that you were able to pick yourself up. I remember seeing you shared your journey on Facebook, which is, it takes a lot to be super vulnerable with everyone, especially on your Facebook page. But it's great that you were able to get out of it, have the support that you needed, and you're still your bubbly, extroverted self. So that's amazing.
That's never gonna go. I mean, I probably wasn't the bubbly and extroverted those times, but there is great strength in showing vulnerability. And just like with the TikTok video, I showed vulnerability where, you know, a situation which was unfortunate, I shared it. I kind of go for this pattern now. Whenever something unfortunate happens, I like to share it with people, because people don't like seeing people in unfortunate situations. So people are really willing to help, and I can't encourage people enough. If you're going through a rough time, share. Like a problem shared is a problem halved.
That's a good point. And on that note, we're going to start wrapping things up here with you. I'm so happy that you were able to sit down with us. And I know it's late there. It's now Tuesday morning there in the UK. So I do appreciate your time and making it work with your schedule. You went from one podcast to another, from one Canadian to another. So thank you so much for spending your thank you for spending your Monday evening, Tuesday morning with us. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers before we end off?
Just a quick one. I started up a new initiative called the Clever Initiative. It is my platform per se, for someone that's always been a bit like iffy about platforms, because here in the UK it was never a thing, and there's quite a lot of pressure put on girls to have a platform, and I never want girls to have that pressure. So, but I amalgamated all my life experience and have put this into this initiative. So it's called the Clever Initiative. We're over on Instagram. I'm doing hosting an awards, and it's called the Hometown Hero Awards. So basically you can go over there, read what it's about. I'm only accepting nominations from people that are not to do with the pageant world. This is to show gratitude and acknowledgement to the heroes in our communities that are out there on the front line. It could be someone that's saved your life. It could be a doctor. It could be the postman that you see every single day that has really made an impact in your life, and nominate them, tell them why they should win the Hometown Hero Awards. At the moment we don't have a website, so it's just like a matter of sliding into the DMs and telling me your story about why you're nominating this person. And at the end of the month we will be my panel of judges will be picking the Hometown Hero, and we'll have an award made for that person. So if there is someone that's watching this and you have a special someone in your life that's really made a profound impact, go over to there and nominate them, and pass it on to another person, pass it over to them.
That's amazing. That's such a good initiative. So is it on your personal Instagram, or is there a separate Instagram for it?
There's a separate Instagram called the Clever Initiative. I have promoted it over on my Ms Galaxy UK Instagram page. We also have a Facebook page as well, so you can message me on the Clever Initiative Facebook page. But basically, Clever is an acronym, and it's C for community, L for leadership, E for empowerment, V for volunteering, another E for entrepreneurial, and R for results, because everything that I want to do underneath the Clever Initiative has to see positive results, real physical results within a community.
That's amazing. So I will put the link in the description at the end of this show, and it will make sure that people follow. I will follow, and I will share it with my network as well. I think you're doing an amazing job. I can't imagine what it's been like having your reign for a year in quarantine, but you've been making a huge impact.
I mean, people know what it's like. You do know what it's like.
I do, but a lot of people are there following you. They see Janice McGregor, she's from Alberta, Canada, but she knows that you are the cover girl, and Pageant Project has made a huge impact, and you being a part of it, you've really showcased who you are as a person, and you're changing lives one day at a time. So I'm really happy to call you my pageant sister, and I'm really happy that you're able to spend the few hour with me today, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
I can't wait to. Thank you so much. That's such a kind thing to say. And literally, I'm an emotional person. I'm not a Pisces, guys. I'm a Libra, but I do get very emotional. So that's a really kind thing for you to say, so thank you.
You're welcome. But it's the truth. You've made an impact. I mean, when you won, I was like, who is this girl? Let's find out who she is. Like we all do. Like let's be real.
We
All the
all do
pageant
it.
girls, exactly. Like we've all done it.
But I want to know who my new pageant sister is, who my new family is. Like
Exactly.
I've been at an international before. I don't think I really grabbed with two hands that amazing opportunity of knowing women all around the world. So this time I'm really going to savor that, and I'm really going to like, you're going to think I'm an absolute weirdo. I'm going to be like asking you so many questions.
That's fine. Go ahead. I'm an open book. But no, really, I say that, but I'm not saying it like, oh, your competition, I need to figure out who you are. It's I want to know who you are.
Absolutely.
We all do it. So for those who are new to pageants and thought I was doing that a malicious way, I wasn't, I promise.
No, we need to know what company we have around us and get to know
exactly
them better.
Exactly. Well, Danielle, again, thank you so much for spending your Monday evening, late evening with me here on Pageant Sit Down. And for all of you who tuned in today, thank you so much for spending your Monday with us. Whether you're from the UK or here from Canada or all over the world, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this content and want to see more, we do go live every Monday and Wednesday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you subscribe. And Danielle, again, thank you so much for being here tonight. I had a pleasure of finally meeting you, and I can't wait to see you in person. And until Wednesday, I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.